Hello everybody. So today I had an idea to make an oil infusion, like a face oil infusion. I suffer from perioral dermatitis, which is like kind of your T-zone around your nose and your mouth and a lot under your eyes. And in the summertime when I am outside pretty much all day in the sun, it gets really pretty good and it doesn't bother me at all. It's not itchy or dry or painful or anything like that. But in wintertime, when I'm not outside as much, getting as much natural sunlight, it reacts quite harshly and it does get really dry and painful. So I kind of had a thought. I've noticed that plain coconut oil, usually I get this from Superstore. It's just an organic coconut oil. I've noticed that it helps more than anything else. It has anti-inflammatory properties that and it's very moisturizing, so it helps quite a bit, but it's not perfect, but it does help. I've done some research and I have some borage, I don't know how to say it. Anyways, that I've collected here, and it's been dried, and it has what's called GLA in it, which is a gamma linolenic acid. Don't know if I said that right either. It also is very good for treating dermatitis, eczema, because it also has anti-inflammatory properties. So what I thought was that I could put the borage into a jar with the coconut oil, and then I was going to put it into the Instant Pot and put it on to keep warm for 48 to 72 hours. And during that time, it's going to turn the coconut oil into a liquid, and then it's going to infuse the oil with the borage herb. And then I'm going to strain it out when the time is up, and then let this come back to room temperature so it will be a solid again. And then I'm going to use it just as my face oil and see if that does anything to improve my dermatitis. So first thing I'm going to do, I've obviously collected a jar and a lid, a clean jar and lid, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of this, but so I collected leaves and I collected seed heads and I collected flowers. So that I don't know, maybe I should fill it halfway up. And we will just see. It actually is quite a prickly flower to pick. Like, I thought if this does work, I don't want to use it all, so I will save some, and then at a later date, if I want to make another infusion, then I still have some of this. In the summertime, I can have access to a lot, but it's a little late in the year now to be collecting it, so we'll see how this goes, and I'll just hold on to that for now. And so I'm just gonna pack as much, like quite a bit of coconut oil into this jar, maybe. And then we will see kind of how this turns out. I'll just strain it through a sieve, and then if I notice that there's any, little bits of dirt and dust that are still left behind, I will certainly strain it through something maybe even a little finer. I've got lots of cheesecloth and flour sack towels and things around here, and a lot of them have been used for many things like straining broth and stuff, so if they're clean, I don't see a problem with it. I've done this method for oil infusions. I've never tried it with coconut oil, but because it will be in a liquid form, I don't see why this is not going to work. But I've done it with olive oil and avocado oil, and I've made infusions of like comfrey for comfrey salve and plantain. because I am terrible at remembering to get something going so that it has its 6 to 8 weeks to kind of sit. That obviously wouldn't work with this unless you bought, you know, a liquid form of coconut oil. But because it's going to be heated and in the liquid form, this should work just fine. And I'm excited to see how it does work. I think I'm gonna go with that much. That should be plenty to cover the amount of herbs that I've put in there. And that should work out just fine. So I'm just gonna try and just clean that up just slightly. This obviously isn't gonna seal or anything like that, but anyways, put a dry lid on there. Okay, so now I just have the Instant Pot here, and I'm just going to put that in there, and then I'm gonna add water up to about here. So we'll see if I have enough here, just so it creates an even warming surface around the jar. It looks like I'm gonna have to get some more. I'm going to get just a bit more to kind of fill it up to about the 14 cup line. Guess we're taking some out because it does not want, that's okay. It'll still be warm enough, I believe, to okay, that's good. We'll go with that and see how it does. So there's my oil infusion in the Instant Pot, and it's kind of filled up just to the shoulder, which seems to keep it from not wanting to float. And so that looks pretty good. I'm gonna put the lid on now, which I think you could just use a different lid too. Just make sure it's not sealing, it's just venting there. And then we're going to use the Keep Warm. You'll see now that it's beeped and it's showing that it is using the function Keep Warm. And then this is gonna do a counter up to 72 hours, and then it will beep at you when it's ready. At any time you can open the lid because it's not sealed, and just check on it. Make sure that the coconut oil is melting, and I don't know, I'm snoopy sometimes, so we'll see. Anyways, I will check back with you guys in a few days when this is done, and we will see where it is at. Hello. So it has been 72 hours since I started steeping my coconut oil with the Barrage, and you can see it's changed color a lot. So I think that was probably a good amount of time. And so now we're going to, while it's still warm and the coconut oil is in liquid form, we're just gonna drain off and take the Barrage out of here, and then we can allow the coconut oil to just come back up to room temperature, and it will solidify, and then I can use it as a face oil. So overall, very easy process. I hope that it works. I'm probably gonna let this have to sit here and drain for just a little bit and make sure that all of that beautiful oil comes out, and I'll probably press down the barrage a little bit. It actually smells incredible. And yeah, I think this will be just a really nice oil, and we'll see if it actually helps. And overall, like I say, it went well, it went easy, and it looks like it turned out really nice. It honestly doesn't look like there's any sediment or anything in there, which I did kind of worry about and thought I might have to strain it through like a cheesecloth or something like that, but it looks really good. So I think overall this is going to be a success.